from time to time, I come back on and I talk about some cycling topics, road cycling specifically, and haven't done much lately, but I'm inspired. My question, I consider myself probably an intermediate rider. I've come a long ways, but I could still tighten up some different areas. Um, but we got to be realistic with ourselves. How much time do you have to devote to your cycling? What kind of who are you riding with? What groups do you have access to make things simpler for you? And here, looking at the Tour de France or Tour de France, I'm just seeing this year. I know I understand kind of what's going on a lot more, and I understand how to. I understand what the commentary is all about, and the studio guys. I understand these things that they're saying, these techniques and writing strategies and difficulties and strengths and weaknesses and all of that. It's processing this year, and it's been great watching the tour. This Tadej Pogacar, Wout Van Aert, some of these different guys from the other teams who some of the stage winners, their efforts have been phenomenal to watch. The back and forth between the yellow jersey, Vingegaard and Pogacar, who had the yellow jersey for the first week or a large part of the first week. It's phenomenal stuff. And so, if you don't have good groups around you, if you don't have good veteran riders to turn to or to ride with, um, you might just be out here just kind of doing the best that you can do. But let me back up though. Recently we had in the last month or so, I participated in the national. What was the name of it? The Major Taylor National Invitational uh, Tour. That might have been what they called it. But it was a weekend in Indianapolis early in June, and riders from a lot of different Major Taylor clubs across the country showed up. LA looked great out there with the presence that they had. Some DMV clubs were out there. Um, it was a blast. I believe the total of participants was over a little over 500. I believe Chicago was there. A little bit of everybody. Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton. We all had some decent numbers out there. So that was phenomenal. Um, then also a week and a half ago or so, locally here in Dayton, Ohio, we had our signature ride for our Major Taylor Club. I think it was about a little over 320 people participated in that. Um, thought there was and then locally also here in another Dayton suburb, they had a the Freedom Tour ride. All of these were metric century distances. 62 miles. One of them ended up being about 66 miles. Um, but major improvement for myself. Just like I said, looking at myself as an intermediate rider, I was able to move from way off the back, riding 40 and 45 miles solo, to actually being up with the main group of riders, with the fastest group of riders, and holding my own pretty much. And, that was just the result of me just pushing myself to get to that level. Fortunately, I started. venturing out to various group rides that are around me to help me get there. I also got a main weekend riding partner who's also who was instrumental in helping me make different improvements and whatnot. But coming into this second year, and while I'm talking about the Tour de France, shout out to everybody everywhere if you have a good club that you belong to and that helps you do whatever you're trying to do with your cycling. I look at some of the different major Taylor clubs on Instagram. Most of them are on the Eastern Seaboard, I want to say. Um, and then there's some in Texas. But yeah, a lot of them are seem to be on the Eastern Seaboard. But shout out to a lot of them that they offer their club members tons of different opportunities to get stronger. They do pace line. Some do pace line training. Some do hill or climbing training. Uh, some do different types of longer distance weekend rides. Some have coffee rides. Some are doing more in Columbus, the oldest club in the country, or the first. That's the same thing. But they do rides before work a couple of days out of the week. Again, shout out to the major Taylor people out there who go above and beyond. And and shout out to the major Taylor members who take advantage of all of these different opportunities. Um, you might be, unfortunately for some of us, we might be in areas where there's not that type of fervor amongst the members in your area, and there's no sense in you getting frustrated with that to a certain degree. You might be aware of it, but you don't have to let it wear on you. But like I said, you might have to Google something. You might have to ask some questions at the local bike shops. Um, you might have to work if you are interested in working harder. If you want to be, get to certain levels of riding, or if you have different weight loss goals, so on and so forth. If your schedule permits, you might have to seek out whatever. So if you are one of these people that's kind of having the your circumstances are pushing you to have to find solutions to what you want to do, you just got to do it. But so for me in my situation, while I have made some great strides, like I said, there are some people in my area that are very strong riders, and even as strong as I may have gotten, I can't keep up with these dudes. And I came across a couple of different articles that really helped me out in terms of you don't want to do anything, or you don't want to let anything if you really are a cycling enthusiast, and you enjoy it, uh you don't want to allow anything to mess with your enthusiasm and cause you to ride less. And there's a strong correlation to, if you're having good performances, good riding experiences, you continue to ride, and you may ride more. But there is the possibility that you could get around a group that is too fast for you or too strong for you, and your performance level might start declining, and then you feel worse about your riding, and then maybe you look to stop riding, or you don't ride as much as you like to because you have this bad experience with this particular group. So what I'm saying is, don't internalize that. Um, there's some articles out there that you can find that, getting in a group, it might be the group might be perfect. There's a certain level of enthusiasm amongst the people that ride in it. It might be some people that encourage you. It might actually be a very good group, but like I said, for me, the group that I've been riding with, if I'm going out and I'm having to ride 20 miles or 43 miles by myself, that's cool once or twice. It's maybe cool 3 or 4 times, but ultimately you're no longer benefiting from the group riding experience. It's a lot of safety in riding with the group. One thing the conclusion that I came to was this particular group, while the first 10 guys are excellent riders and very good at what they do, what happened was the group thinned out to where there weren't enough different levels of riders out there. And those of us that couldn't keep up with the fastest guys, the A plus guys, um, it wasn't enough of us to work together to really ride the route at the high level that some of us may, such as myself. The goals that I had, it really wasn't that I couldn't reach them. It was the fact that the right riders weren't there to allow me or enable me to reach them. And so again, it's like, don't get down on myself. Don't internalize it. Don't allow my enthusiasm towards my cycling. Don't let it be affected. This just isn't the right situation for you. So anyway, I'm sitting here looking at the Tour de France the last week and a half, and while I'm definitely nowhere near being on the level of these guys, but like I said, you can sit and look at the team strategies and what they're trying to do, and the makeup of these teams and what the strengths and weaknesses are of some of the guys, and you can start seeing why these are professionals and can't get certain things accomplished because the right circumstances aren't in place. So, like I said, I think it's just been inspirational and motivational for me to watch some of the stuff that's going on with the guys on the tour, and to take some of these things out to the various group rides that I'm doing, and just apply them. So one simple thing is the team riding strategies for for these different teams, and the sprinter on their team that the other team members protect to be able to give them a chance to win the stage, at the end of one of these days. You can take some of those, you can look at yourself as the sprinter on a team in your group ride, and you can actually use the different people that are at your group ride. You can use them to make your ride. Say it. I got one ride where I have different speed goals that I would like to hit each week, and when I show up, if it's 10 to 11 guys, it's actually a way for me to use the guys in that group, not in a disrespectful manner, but just to ride with them because I know how they ride, and I'm able to hit the different goals that I might be aiming for each week. And so it's just added a different aspect to group riding. It's good to go out here and set different goals and to achieve them. Like I said, most of us are on Strava. It's an excellent resource for you to look at different personal records that you might be tracking. That might help your motivation, help with your commitment to what you're trying to do. Actually had a very good group ride this past weekend. It wasn't one of the weekly rides that I do. It was just a ride that I led, and it just happened to be a time where the right group of people showed up, and we ended up doing a couple of segments that a couple of us placed in the top 5 or the top 3 of these different segments just because we worked together. So, like I said, that's a different element of group riding that I wasn't aware of last year. And like I said, when you're having fun, when you're accomplishing new things, you're having different achievements, this all helps and feeds into your commitment remaining on the level that you may need it to be for you to go out here and do whatever you're trying to do. Now, shout out to the dudes, that want to race, guys that are interested in racing. The main group that I started this season with on Tuesday and Thursday nights, a lot of those dudes race on the weekends. I sit around and I watch them on Strava, and they're doing some amazing stuff for guys, regular working dudes. So when I get out there with them and I see how they ride, uh, I totally understand why I struggle to keep up with them, or why I just don't keep up with them. But I have no interest personally in racing. I'm not trying. I'm not trying to go down to the ground. I'm not interested in crashing. I can't afford to tear my bike up. That's just not me. I don't have those types of aspirations. It's mainly just weekend fun, and then just personal fitness goals, weight loss or weight management stuff. That's why I kind of ride. And then socially, it's very good. The other thing, so the last point that I was going to talk about, with the group rides, excellent way for anybody to like I said, to maintain your commitment to cycling, and some individuals, across the country, just the clubs that are around you, the way that they operate, it may take care of a lot of it may take care of you for what you're trying to do. But like I said at the top of this, it could be a situation to where you just might be in an area or a city where, what you want to do and what's available to you, those things don't line up. And you might have to work to, you might have to do more work to reach whatever cycling goals you may have. So anyway, like I said, man, the Tour de France this year, I did watch a lot of the Giro d'Italia a few weeks ago, which was the other Grand Tour. I think it's 3 Grand Tours. It might be 4. But it's just been fascinating to sit back and like I said, understand what's going on, and how challenging this is. Cycling has actually moved up to probably one of my top 5 sports, just in terms of the excitement and the level of competition. How important this stuff means to some of these guys, and just the level of competition that you can sit and watch on the 2.5 hours or 3 hours or whatever. I have a whole newfound respect for what I'm seeing. So that's about it. Like I said, hopefully, if you have become a fan of the sport, or if it's become a major part of whatever your fitness goals are, hopefully there is a club or an individual or a small group of individuals around you that can help you out in what you're trying to do. If not, you might have to spend a lot of time watching different YouTube videos for pointers and different training regimens and all of that type of stuff. Or you might have to read you can read different articles online. One thing that I'm getting ready to try, just because of some realizations the last few days, I'm getting ready to give my cycling computer that I use while I'm riding, low level model. I think I'm getting ready to give it a shot. There's some different workouts that you can either load onto it, or maybe there's just some different programs that are already in it. But I think I'm gonna step back and give that a shot to see what if the cycling computer can direct me on a workout as I'm watching my heart rate information and average mile per hour and everything, all the information that I get on there. I'm interested to see if it can actually lead me through a workout, and maybe I can start working on things like VO2 max or FTP or whatever. Some of these programs that you use on some of these different devices for whatever, they're not all that user friendly, or because I got a watch, for instance, and on the watch it says you can select like a hit workout where to give you 5 or 6 different types of exercises to do in a circuit. And so I was like, oh, let me give this a shot. And it was cool for about the first 3 different types of exercises, and then it started. It wasn't reading what I was doing, and it didn't work out smoothly, and I didn't get to finish the workout. And I tried it a couple more times, and it just didn't work the way that the people who the brand or the manufacturer, it didn't work the way that they have it programmed in the watch. So that was trash. So I'm kind of optimistic that I'll be able to use a computer directed workout. I'm hoping it is seamless and it's something that I can use a lot more often. Because as I learned last night, I was trying to ride, because I'm trying to really pull back from working on power and speed. I'm trying to not focus on that the rest of the summer, and I really want to try to get back on the weight loss that I was able to achieve last year. And come to find out, fast paced rides, whether they're 25 miles, 40 miles, more intense riding doesn't necessarily equate to weight loss. You kind of have to do longer rides with steadier paces, and you got to mess with your heart rate zones and stuff. It's a different thing that you have to focus on. So anyway, last night, trying to pivot and pay attention more to rides that are gonna result in weight loss and drive weight loss. I'm out there last night, and I left out trying to focus on keeping my heart rate at a certain range, which is different for every person because it's based on your age. So I was looking at my computer and trying to stay in this heart rate range, and then after about 15 to 18 miles, I just jumped to focusing on maintaining the miles per average that I was at, because instead of riding against the wind, instead of riding against the wind is what I usually do. I was like, let me try to find a way to ride with the wind today. And as a result of doing that, my average mile per hour was a lot higher than it normally is. So of course, like I said, I just gave up tracking my heart rate, started focusing on the average mile per hour, which changes my whole workout and changes the benefit of that workout. So again, you gotta be more disciplined than you may want to be. Like I said, in a group situation, if you get with the right groups or go and participate in the right group rides, it may just naturally take care of stuff like this. Because maybe you riding with a group that isn't challenging you whatsoever, but maybe they ride 35 to 40 miles and you just ride in this group that you're very comfortable in, and it never pushed you. So you stay in that heart rate zone that's conducive to weight loss. It could just take care of it for you. So, but riding on your own, like I said, it's difficult for me to sit here and just ride at I think for me, my heart rate that I needed to be at was like between 125 and 145. Well, the speed that I might be riding at for my heart rate to remain in that range, I might get bored with that. So it's difficult to go out there and actually do a structured ride and to see it through. And it depends on kind of like where you're riding. Like, I don't feel right if I'm riding out on country roads. I don't feel right, or I just don't feel mentally, I just don't feel cool riding at a certain speed. If I'm out on a country road, I just feel like if there's any oncoming traffic or motorists out there, I just feel better or safer riding at a higher speed. So now I'm like, well, maybe I need to get back on the bike trail when I'm focusing on this. I'm not gonna be influenced to feel like I need to be at 19 or 20 miles per hour. Maybe on the bike trail with the foot traffic, the joggers, and the other people being around, that brings your speed down automatically, and then you don't have the presence of vehicles and whatnot. So I'm like, maybe if I am gonna do this, I gotta try to do this on the bike trail and I can get it done. But being out on the road is like my mind just says just go. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm gonna give this a chance and see if it works out. Whatever device you have, I don't know if you, like I said, you might have to load workouts from the desktop program. You might have to import some kind of programs into your device, or your device might already have some preloaded. And either way, you give it a shot. Hopefully, the cycling computer feature is a lot better than my fitness watch feature, because like I said, the fitness watch, it didn't work out well whatsoever when it was giving me when it was prompting me to do different exercises, or how it was counting reps. It didn't work. So I'm hopeful that that my cycling computer, the manufacturer, that they have their stuff together, and that the directed rides that it offers, hopefully it works. So anyway, let me get on off of here. I think today was stage 16 of the Tour de France. They come on in the morning time for anybody that's whether you work third shift or working from home. It's a great way to kind of just have it on and check it out every few minutes and see what's going on. But a lot of good information on there, a lot of good techniques and things to consider that you can actually use, even though you're obviously not a professional cyclist. So that's it. Again, my name is Wood. Just coming on here talking a little bit of intermediate level cycling. Just get out there, do your thing, and have fun with it. I know there's some bigger rides out there for different events. Atlanta has its One Love thing. Seagull is in Maryland. Personally, for me, I'm kind of done for the year with any events that I wanted to attend. So from here on out, I'll probably support some stuff in Columbus, Cincinnati in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then also, for those of you that don't know, I think it's Honor Major Taylor Momentum Indy Ride is going down August 27th. It's actually a free ride. I think they have a metric century ride, maybe a 30-something mile ride. But it's August 27th, 9 a.m. Honor Major Taylor Ride. It's in Indianapolis. You can go to momentumindy.com. You can register on there. Justin Williams of Legion of LA is going to be there. The Miami Blazers. What's that brother's name? Dustin something, or I can't remember. I just started checking him out on Instagram. But the Miami Blazers is another up-and-coming team in the crit circuit. And other Zip sponsored pros to honor Major Taylor in his hometown. The first 50 to register receive a Legion of LA baseball cap. You probably missed out on that. But it's free to participate. So I am planning on doing that. I think it's a crit that's actually being raced that weekend in Indianapolis, August 27th. And then part of the weekend events will be a long distance ride that you can join up and do. And then I think Sunday is like some family rides if you have kids and whatnot, or your lady rides, or your spouse can get out there with you or something like that. So I am looking forward to checking that out. And I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm out of here. My lunch is over. Peace.